Alrighty, thank you for checking in with the New England Weather Life. This is the, Wednesday afternoon weather update. A couple non-weather news updates I want to get to before I get you to the forecast. Well, you notice here a brand new website that I've built for you guys. It's cleaner, it's a little cooler, and as I said, I would make a Facebook page. I did. There's the little button that you click there for the Facebook, and everything is pretty much the same. What you do notice is that, I'm not going to lie, there are more ads on the left column of this website. But what I'm going to do here is I haven't figured out what I'm going to put there. Once I figure out what I'm going to put there, then I'm going to replace those ads with something else. Videos are still going to be on the center column, and the blog post will be below that, alright? So not a whole lot has changed, just a different layout, okay? Now let's get to the forecast. Essentially what we're watching here is, of course, the deluge that is on the way here for the weekend, and of course that's the last thing you want to hear, and I know that. But unfortunately, it's what we're certainly going to have to be dealing with. Now, here at the New England Weather Life, not only have we updated the website, but we've also updated our graphic system. We have a brand new Futurecast that's been implemented, courtesy of weathertap.com. So let's take a look at that. Here you go. What you notice is the close low, which is going to be our storm later on, is basically coming up through the Midwest. Heavy snow coming into Nebraska, and also there's a pretty good flow all the way from the Pacific, which brings in Gulf of Mexico moisture, which means constant showers, convective activity through the southeast. That is through the day on Thursday. By the time we get to Thursday night, the issue is going to become, of course, we're getting closer to the storm, although I don't expect it to really begin until Saturday morning. But before we get to that, let's show you the WRF. This is out to 72 hours. This is out to, that was out to 36 hours. And you go through time, and you can see, here's the closed low coming up. A closed low is it's a low pressure system that is not attached to the jet stream, so it just meanders around. So when it hits an area, oftentimes it just stalls there. That's what happens. Look at that. Precipitation just stalling. Alright, and by the time you get to the end of the loop, you notice how it's pulling in a pretty good swath of Gulf of Mexico moisture in that swath north and east of New Orleans. And what I can show you here is the GFS precipitation plot, and this is by the time we get to 12Z on Friday. So this is Friday morning, and what you notice is basically a lot of moisture by then has been pulled up from the Gulf of Mexico. Closed low is out in the upper Midwest. Alright, and let's go through time. I can take you out to 72 hours, and oops, that is not the one I wanted to show you. Here we go. This is a 72 hour, and look at all that heavy precipitation moving up through the mid-Atlantic by Saturday morning. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be raining heavily in southwest New England also by Saturday morning, and look at all that. Wow, and even by Sunday morning, look how it hasn't moved all that much in 24 hours. Saturday morning, Sunday morning, not a whole lot of movement. A lot of heavy rain just hanging around. It's going to be raining heavy for a long duration. What does that mean? It means possible issues with flooding. Okay, and by Monday, what happens is the storm center retrogrades off the New Jersey coast, and it bombs again. So more heavy rain on Monday, and it takes until Tuesday for things to really quiet down. Also, a little bit of a cool down on Tuesday. Not much though. So how much rain will actually fall? Well, of course, we're going to be looking at it falling from Saturday morning until Monday, so that's a pretty long duration event. Alright, but and the models are coming into agreement on how much rain will fall. They've shifted the heaviest rain constantly further south, so now we're seeing the jackpot coming up through the mid-Atlantic, and you can match that up again looking at the GFS. And you do see the agreements that the mid-Atlantic, or excuse me, the Appalachians get slammed basically throughout the whole event. And so yeah, and so that's why the Appalachians are probably going to see some of the most rain, about I'd say 2 to 4 inches, and then it's probably 1 to 3 inches for a lot of central and southern New England. What you have to keep in mind here is that some models have been predicting up to 6 inches. I sent out a tweet yesterday to somebody who was very excited. They thought that it could rain like crazy and 6 inches would fall. And those have been crazy models like the GFS, just gone out of their mind. Folks, at this point, go with the conservative solution, even though it's going to be a long duration heavy rain event. We still have the potential for 6 inches, but at this point the 1 to 3 inch solution seems more likely. So that's basically our big weather story right now. Again, 2 quiet days, Thursday, Friday actually as well, and the rest of Wednesday if you're watching this on Wednesday. Anything to look at in the long range? This is by the time we get to Thursday, March 18th. This is the ensemble means 500 millibar pattern. And what you notice is still a pretty good amount of cold air in the north, but you go through time and things get warmer by the time you get to Saturday, March 20th. Consistently warmer by Tuesday, March 23rd, and a pretty good flow of warm air across the U.S. Now, let's point out a couple of things here. What you notice here is we do have some cold air up in here, but what you notice also, those lines are just coming consistently north, so it is warming. You go through time, keep an eye on that, guys. Look at this in the beginning of the loop. What do you notice in the beginning of the loop? In the beginning of the loop, huge amount of cold air in a lot of spots. Even a big cold high over New England. Okay, so that's our current pattern. Alright, that's the current pattern. However, by the time you get to the end of the loop, look how we've changed a lot here. The end of the loop, what you see happening is a big swath of warmer air. So the cool air, it's going to be present, cooler air. But what's happening is it's spring, it's warming, it's completely normal, and it's you learned about it in first grade. The Earth is warming. Well, not the Earth, the northern hemisphere is warming. Down in Chile, where the earthquake happened, they're actually cooling down. But essentially, that's going to be the general pattern, warming as we go through the time frame that we'll be looking at for the next month or so. All right, that's basically how I'm seeing things right now. See you guys later. It's Nick for the New England Weatherlife.ning.com.